Poe. And today on the podcast, we're sitting down with an upcoming coach making waves on both football and on the track, dedicated to developing young athletes, installing discipline, and pushing them to the limits of performance. He's already proven to be a game changer in the world of sports. From the grind of the weight room to the intensity on the track, he is shaping the next generation of competitors. Let's dive into his journey, coaching philosophy, and the lessons he's learned along the way. Welcome to the show, Coach Denzal Gilmore. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So, let's talk about your coaching journey. What inspired you to become a coach, and where did you get your career started?
It really started with my dad. My dad really kind of pushed me. He kind of molded me to the guy I am today. To the long hours put in the weight room, put in outside of kind of the realm of becoming who I am today. I think my dad really was the main person. Kind of inspired me to be the person I am today. And I started my coaching career with A.O. Brown High School. That's kind of where it all started. I wish I could would have started with the youth, but I just wanted an opportunity. And Coach Newsom opened his doors for me to kind of become the coach I am today. And then from there, I just kind of just took off from there.
So, how would you describe your coaching philosophy, and how does that apply to both football and track?
My coaching philosophy is real simple. Straight to the point. I like to kind of get it in. I don't like playing athletes playing around. Come in. It's more kind of like be very detailed. I'm a very detailed guy. Kind of want to take my time through whatever I'm teaching. Really start with the foundation of just everything. Because nowadays, most athletes don't really have the basic foundation. So I just start with the basic foundation and kind of build up. Or sometimes I have athletes that already kind of got those skills, and I just kind of test it and see kind of like, okay, they got the basic foundation. We can kind of move on from there. So that's kind of my straight to the point, but I want to make sure the guys got the basic foundations.
As a young coach, how do you connect with the athletes and earn their respect
How do I connect? You said, how do I connect with the
with the
athletes?
athletes and try to get their respect?
Um, First, just building a relationship, trying to get to know them. It'd be days where like they come and talk to me just out of just asking a question, and then from there I kind of like try to start and spark conversation, and from there it kind of builds a relationship, and then obviously just talking to them, just connecting them, seeing them every day. With me being a teacher, I get to see most of my athletes, check in with them, know kind of their standards or their grades of kind of where they're at. And then I just go from there. And then people that I don't see on a regular basis, just when we do training sessions, I would send their video of kind of what we did that Pacific session, and kind of like run through the things that I feel like could have been better, some improvements going into our next session. So that's kind of how I interact with them from a teacher standpoint, with me being in the school system, and then uh, the athletes that I don't get to see on a regular basis, just trying to create a relationship based off their sessions. And then from there, they kind of gain my trust, and then vice versa.
Got you. So how do you balance discipline with motivation to keep the athletes engaged?
Discipline, just being consistent. I just think that's the main thing that I really preach when I train. Like you said, I got a 5 year old son, so it's just more kind of just being disciplined, doing the same stuff every single day, and that's kind of like my philosophy in the classroom. And I live by that. And then they pretty much kind of for the most part kind of buy into the process, and that's just kind of how I do it. Just build it up there, and then kind of just don't let it go, don't let it fade, type of thing.
So, what challenges have you faced as a young coach, and how have you overcome those challenges?
This recent challenge, especially with the transition of me going from L Brown to now I'm at J.N. Robinson, it's been a not a roller coaster, but it's just kind of hard to transition into a position from being at L Brown for so long, well for 2 years, and then going to J.N. Robinson, just building their trust because nowadays, kids are used to certain faces, and when they see new faces, it's just like, whoa, like who is this guy?
Yeah,
So I just kind of had to accept that, and I feel like as a young coach, I just feel like that's just the steps of me growing to become the coach that I want to be, which is to be a head coach one day. So just trying to just soak in all the challenges now as a young coach is kind of like what I'm accepting to do, and I'm just trying to just roll with the bullets and just kind of accept it.
so I know being a coach, it comes with a lot of pressure. How do you handle the pressure of, being a coach for football and track?
I would say the pressure, how I handle it is just find mentors. So like my DC, Coach Land, he kind of helps me with any type of questions that I might have. So I think that's kind of my little safe haven. Just having people in your corner to kind of make connections and kind of see what they did
Yeah,
when they was on the same journey I was on. Because I'm pretty sure, I'm saying they kind of experienced what I experienced. So I just try to build from them, try to get some points from them, and kind of go from there.
been the biggest lesson you've learned from your athletes?
I would say the biggest lesson is being able to see myself in them. I would say that would kind of be like the biggest challenge. So like making sure they don't repeat the same mistakes that I did growing up. I would say that would be the biggest thing. And also try to give them uh, gems to kind of help them be better than I was, so they don't kind of repeat it over again. So that's what I would say.
What are your long-term goals as a coach, and both personally and as with your team?
My long term goal, just for myself, is just continue molding, like you said at the very beginning, youth athletes. Like I said, I think that's really the foundation. I think a lot of people have lost the youth athletes and not really taking the time to kind of mold them the way they should be, because most middle schoolers, when they come into high school, it's a big transition, and then if they haven't really took the time to kind of really mold those kids, it's just a struggle for high school coaches, which that's the kind of struggle that I'm going through right now. And I'm pretty sure other coaches as well is going through that struggle. So I feel like long term is just kind of keep being the role model that I am, just not for them, but also the role model for my son too. I think that's the biggest thing for myself, is just be the bigger version of myself and kind of give him all the tokens, give all my future athletes all the tokens, the gems that I have. Like I said, I'm still learning as well too. And as you get older, you never can stop really learning anything. You keep kind of building, getting ideas from other people and stuff like that. So I would say just continue being the model that I am, leading the way, and hopefully that future athletes kind of follow that path. And then
And
kind
then
of
personally,
like more than likely I want to start a my own little or start up my own facility where like young athletes can kind of come and get those skills at an early age. Really, just mainly for the youth. Not saying that I'm just going to just focus just on the youth, but mainly just try to get them back. because I feel like they're kind of faded. So I would say, uh, personally, start my own little facility where people can come in and I can kind of just not give them the skills, also give parents the knowledge as well. So they can go home and kind of uh, put those skills to practice as well too, because you just can't just practice it. You got to also practice it when you're not with your trainer or with a coach or whatnot. So
Yeah.
I kind of want to motivate and educate parents as well. I think that's kind of like my long term as well. Being able to kind of be a teacher to people that don't know too much about drills, know about sports and stuff like that.
What advice would you give an aspiring young coach?
The advice I give an aspiring head coach. I would say just stick around. Those old heads. I don't mean that in the wrong way, but just sticking around with the people that been around the game for a long period of time, and kind of just pick their brains, ask all the questions, even if you think it's a dumb question. Just being around them 24/7, to the point where it's just like, would you just go away type of thing? But
Yeah.
they're not gonna say that. But at the end of the day, I think just being around them, and creating a relationship, I think they will um, be able to kind of do, yeah. So this being around the old heads and picking their brain 24/7.
What has been your favorite moment so far in your coaching journey?
Favorite moment, I would have to say, my son. He's been my inspiration since day one. Way before he even came out the womb, I kind of already had like a vision, like, hey, this is what we're gonna do. Um, just not from an athletic standpoint. Also, just spending every moment with him. Like I said, I take him to games. I take him to practice. He's just always with me 24/7. So I would, and also just seeing him grow as well. Like I said, we've been doing stuff since he was one, and just seeing him grow every day has just kind of been insane, because a lot of people think that he's older, he's ahead of his age, and I feel like that's kind of helping me kind of get my message out to how important like youth needs to be more involved, more kind of to the front, as far as, because you got athletes out here, it's just like they already think they know the game, but in reality, it's just like they kind of gonna do it their way, and social media is kind of taking over the game, or just athletes in general. So I'm just trying to give him all the knowledge the traditional way. You know what I'm saying? The way that I was brought up, which a lot of athletes don't really have that anymore. And you wonder why some of the athletes don't make it very far. Not in a bad way. I'm just saying, like, sometimes you need that little traditional coaching, traditional lifestyle when it comes down to training and trying to get to where you're trying to be.
Well, thank you, Coach Gilmore. That'll wrap up another episode of 71 Reasons. I just want to thank you for all the work that you've been doing with these kids and in the community. And stay focused. Don't give up. I know times get hard, especially being a young coach and messing with these young kids. And I know it gets hard. So I just want to thank you, tell you to keep pushing forward, and we'll see what's in store next for you.
And thank you for having me again. Like you said, not too many people are doing what you're doing, so you keep doing what you're doing, because uh, people's story needs to be heard, and hopefully it starts to change. Just not your personal lives, but it might touch someone else that might need that word of encouragement.
Yeah, that's the whole purpose of the show is to really get the youth, get them out there, get them some exposure. So that's what we're doing here at 71 Reasons the podcast. But thank you for joining us, and that'll wrap up the episode. Please be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you like this video. And that's the end of the episode. Thank you.
Thank you.